starting lineups for today's game. Would you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Now this time, the starting lineup for today's game. First, for the visiting Franklin Grizzlies. Number two, Jackson Chint. Number 5, Russell Bilalovic. Number 6, Lucas Pereira. Number 7, Theo Sasa. Number 9, Lucas Flores. Number 10, Brent Heinrich. Number 16, Logan Ramsey. Number 19, Blake Stapp. Number 26, Cameron Darnold. And number 29, Lucas Stout. In goal for the Grizzlies, number 0, Ian Rowe. And now the starting lineup for your Rose-Hulman and Engineers. The 6'2" junior from New Orleans, Louisiana. Number 3, Aiden Creed. The 5'11" senior from Louisville, Kentucky. Number 8, Tyler Eldridge. The 6'1" freshman from Clarkston, Michigan. Number 10, Cameron Hanna. The 6'1" junior from Avon, Indiana. Number 15, Jacob Cole. The 5'10" sophomore from Wheaton, Illinois. Number 16, Chase Tenfier. The 5'10" graduate student from Salt Lake City, Utah. Number 17, Peter Jacob. The 5'9" senior from North Aurora, Illinois. Number 22, Elisha Anderson. The 5'11" junior from Rockville, Maryland. Number 24, Peter Borger. The 5'10" graduate student from Bakersfield, California. Number 27, Julian Salinas. And the 5'8" freshman from Leeds City, Texas. Number 30, Evan Lipke. In goal for the Fighting Engineers, the 6'4" senior from Indianapolis, Indiana. Number 1, John Peterson.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Rose-Hulman Soccer here on RHIT.TV. I'm Landon Bundy on the call for today's HCAC contest between the visiting Franklin College Grizzlies and your Rose-Hulman Fighting Engineers. The starting lineups for today's game: first for Franklin College, number 2, Jackson Gent. Number 5, Russell Bilalovic. Number 6, Lucas Pereira. Number 7, Teo Sasso. Number 9, Lucas Flores. Number 10, Britton Heinrich. Number 16, Logan Ramsey. Number 19, Blake Stack. Number 26, Cameron Darnold. And number 29, Lucas Stout. In goal for the Grizzlies is number 00, Ian Rowe. Your lineup for the Fighting Engineers: John Biederstedt in goal. Your back line, center backs of Peter Borger, Jacob Pohl and Aiden Creek. Elijah Harderson and Evan Lipsky lining up on the outside with Peter Jacob, Chase Kedzier, and Julius Salinas in the middle. And your two forwards up top, Tyler Eldridge and Cam Hanna. And just like that, we're underway here in Terre Haute. A brisk evening here in the middle of October as we are halfway through conference play on the season. On the season, the Fighting Engineers coming in with a record of 5-4-3, but unbeaten in the HCAC, sitting alone atop the conference with a 3-0-1 record in the league. Meanwhile, the Franklin Grizzlies still looking for their first three-point result of the season, 0-11-2 on the year. Grizzlies swing it around the back line, and they'll look to attack from the right. Trying to play it forward, knocked away by Cam Hanna. It'll go out for a Franklin throw-in. The Grizzlies on the season averaging just 0.6 goals per game, allowing over 3 goals per game. So the key for them is going to be to start quickly, keeping Rose-Hulman off the board here in the first 15 to 20 minutes of the ballgame. Two draws on the season for the Grizzlies, one coming just 2 games ago, a 0-0 draw with the Transylvania Pioneers, one of the top teams in the league. So this team's shown what they have in them, able to keep the Pioneers scoreless. And they'll look to do the same here today. The other draw for the Grizzlies came back on September 8th, a 1-1 draw with another Institute of Technology, the Illinois Institute of Technology Scarlet Hawks. Fighting Engineers recycle to the back, and it's the senior John Biederstedt trying to boot this one down the field, but pulls it a little. It'll go out for a Franklin throw-in. Biederstedt on the season has been top-notch in goal for the Fighting Engineers. 50 saves with 3 clean sheets for the senior. With a goal allowed average of just 1.10, he started all but 2 games for Rose-Hulman. Elijah Harderson making the run down the right side. Pohl finds him. Harderson unable to bring it down as Jackson Gent got his foot in, but Chase Kedzier into the 18, blocked away, and it'll go out for a Rose-Hulman corner. Kedzier, a sophomore from Wheaton, Illinois, making his impact early. And the Fighting Engineers will earn the first corner of the game here just 3 minutes in. The graduate student, Julius Salinas, stands over this one. Puts his right boot into it. Rowe comes off his line to collect at the 6-yard box. Rowe bringing it far outside the 18, and he'll look to put this one deep in Rose-Hulman territory. Grizzlies win the header. And it'll go out for a Rose-Hulman throw. Are you doing possession or no? Yes. Peter Borger set to throw this one in. Played into the middle by Teo Sasso. This one headed forward. Cam Hanna getting on the end of it. Playing it out wide, it's fellow freshman Evan Lipsky. Finding Hanna in the middle. And it's going to go off the back heel of Hanna, and the Grizzlies will reset. This one played forward, trying to find number 9, Lucas Flores. It'll go back to Biederstedt. Flores, a freshman from Sao Paulo, Brazil. He's been one of the leaders up top for this Franklin team. Flores ranking 3rd on the team in shots this year with 12. The leading goal scorer this year has been Teo Sasso with 4 goals. And Kaleo Ibalo, the only other Grizzly with multiple goals into the back of the net this season. Rose-Hulman recycles to their back line once more. The Rose-Hulman women's soccer team also in action here tonight, playing at Franklin. That one a battle between 2 3-win teams in the conference, with Rose-Hulman at 3-0-1 and Franklin at 3-1 on the women's side. We'll keep you updated with any updates throughout that game. So when headed by Pole, it's going to be brought down by the Grizzlies. Franklin's kind of controlled possession here early on. Rose-Hulman had the one chance on the corner, but Franklin has been holding the ball for the majority of the time thus far. They'll look to play this one over the top, but Biederstedt collects. Aiden Creek bringing it forward, looking for the senior Eldridge. And he'll play it back to the back line. Tyler Eldridge has been very successful in a Fighting Engineer uniform. Eldridge finding Harderson on the near side. To Kedzier, back to Harderson, but the pass intercepted. And they play it long, looking to find Flores. Flores over to Sasso, but Rose-Hulman, it's Peter Jacob intercepting. But now right back down the field comes Teo Sasso. We mentioned him as the leading goal scorer for the Grizzlies this season. He's the player to watch. The forward also from Sao Paulo, Brazil. Kedzier bringing it down the near side to Cam Hanna over to Eldridge. Eldridge to Harderson. Physical defense from the Grizzlies. Eldridge to cross it in. Put up in the air by the Franklin defense, and Ian Rowe able to come up with the ball in his 18. We mentioned Tyler Eldridge. Eldridge comes in just 1 assist shy of reaching the top 10 in school history in career assists, 17 for the senior. 1 assist will tie him with 2010 graduate Corbin Clough with 18. The other Fighting Engineer just narrowly outside the top 10 in career stats is the keeper, John Biederstedt. Biederstedt 3 saves away from reaching 10th in school history in saves. He's at 138 for his career thus far. Cameron Darnold swings it around to Blake Stack at the back. And the Grizzlies perfectly fine passing around this back line. They're going to make Rose-Hulman bring that press higher if they're going to give the ball away. Head coach Josh Galvin telling his team that they're perfectly fine having it in this position. Up to Gent, and they play it back to Darnold. Josh Galvin, in his 3rd year at the helm of Franklin College, comes in with 6 wins in his career. He's a 2016 graduate of Luther College in Iowa. Now they'll play this one over the top, trying to find Lucas Pereira. Sasso able to bring it down. And Salinas to Kedzier, and they'll swing it back around. Borger looks to reverse field, finds the minutes leader for the Fighting Engineers this season, Aiden Creek. Creek to Lipsky, up to Eldridge on the far touchline. They're going to swing it back to Jacob. Peter Jacob, the graduate student from Salt Lake City, Utah. He's making just his 3rd start of the season. Cam Hanna with the shot, and it's going to go just wide. Cam Hanna has been the story of this Fighting Engineer Ball Club here in HCAC play. 5 goals in 4 games in the conference for Cam Hanna, the freshman. Earned a starting job after a pair of braces against Bluffton and Transylvania in those 3-2 victories. He also scored the game-winning goal in the 3-0 win over Berea. So he has the game-winning goals in all 3 of the Fighting Engineers wins this season. A foul going to be called on Peter Borger, and it'll be a free kick here for the Grizzlies. Teo Sasso standing over this one, ready to put his left boot into it. Sasso puts this one into the box. Punched away by Biederstedt. Kadzier has Lipsky down the far side. Lipsky collects one-on-one with the defender. Good defending there by the Grizzlies. Lipsky's going to cross it in, and it'll be a second corner of the game for the Fighting Engineers. We mentioned the 5 goals for Cam Hanna in just 4 games, leading the conference in that category in conference play. Berea's Tabore Takpour has 4 goals, and then a group of 3 players with 3 on the board. Kadzier puts this one over the crossbar. It'll be the second shot of the game for the Fighting Engineers. Ian Rowe on the season has started all 14 games for the Grizzlies, has a .304 goals allowed average, but has made 84 saves for the Yellow and Navy. He also has 1 clean sheet on the season. We mentioned that 0-0 draw with Transylvania last Wednesday. Ball trying to slip it through, nobody making the run, and Rose-Hulman will reset once more. Also leading the conference in conference play statistics, Julius Salinas and Evan Lipsky, 2 of 3 players with 3 assists in HCAC contests this year. Cam Hanna bringing this one forward, plays it back to Jacob, and he'll send it over to the near side. It's Elijah Harderson. Harderson trying to get by Gent, and Rose-Hulman will earn the throw-in. Borger trying to slip it through to Jacob, knocked away, but Rose-Hulman maintains possession. Another pass through the middle. Franklin's been getting a foot on a lot of those. Touched on here by Hanna, but it'll be played out for a throw. And just inside the 18 is Eldridge. Rose-Hulman now with most of the possession here in the last 7 to 8 minutes. Aiden Creek ready for a long throw in here as Jacob Pohl, the center back, coming forward. We saw long throw-ins find the back of the net against Rose-Hulman earlier this year. This one into the middle. It's Jacob Pohl, headed just wide by Hanna. He's been just off target on 2 chances here for the Fighting Engineers early, but still scoreless here in Terre Haute. Great throw there by Creek. It was flicked on by Pohl, and Hanna's header just went to the left. Looked like it did have Rowe beat at the near post if it was on target. Short kick here just on the other side of midfield, and Jacob Pohl going to be called for the foul on that one. Ball played into the 18, headed away by Pohl, touched on by Salinas, but the Grizzlies will get possession and just given away there. The Grizzlies in the blue kits, blue shorts, yellow socks with the blue numbers. A little tough to see here in the October night sky. Fighting Engineers wearing the white tops with black shorts. Just the second time this season that Rose-Hulman has donned the white tops. Rose-Hulman picked up a win against Transylvania on homecoming, donning these white on black uniforms. It is the first time in Sean Hellowell's 15 seasons that his team has donned white uniforms. Kedzier heads on. Little deked touch there by Hanna, but miscommunication with Eldridge. Hanover gives it right back as Rose-Hulman able to get on the end of that second ball. The cross in by Salinas off the head of Eldridge, and the shot out for a goal kick. Rose-Hulman leading 4-0 in shots here early on, but still scoreless on the board. Meanwhile, an update from Franklin. The Fighting Engineers lead at 1-0 as Kira Hicks finds the back of the net for the women's team off an assist by Jaden Gibson. And the women's team leading 1-0. Again, we'll keep you updated throughout that one as we go through the night. Miss there by number 29 for the Grizzlies. Hanna slips it through to Eldridge. And Eldridge, the pass with just a little too much on it, led Eldridge off target, and the shot goes wide. As I was mentioning, the other Rose-Hulman team in action tonight is the volleyball team, as they are traveling to St. Louis, Missouri for their final non-conference game of the season, as they take on the number 8 team in the country, the Wash U Bears. The last time the Fighting Engineers played the number 8 team in the nation, back in 2017, it resulted in a 4-set victory for the Fighting Engineers against number 8 Milliken. So they'll look to do the same here tonight. First serve of that match will be at 8 p.m. We'll give you updates throughout for the remainder of our contest here in Terre Haute. Eldridge puts it into the middle. It's Chase Kedzier. And Kedzier will send it back to Pohl. Harderson on the near side. Brings it down. Gent defending. Harderson dances to the touchline. Cross comes in. All the way through. Evan Lipsky unable to put it on target. Now we're going to get a handball called on Cam Hanna. Looks like Lipsky had an opportunity there, but a Franklin defender just gets the foot on it to knock it away. Almost 20 minutes down here in Terre Haute. Still scoreless. Taking a look at some of the active player career numbers against the Grizzlies. Tyler Eldridge has been a menace against Franklin in his career. 1 goal, 5 assists in his 3 games against Franklin. Lipsky to Hanna. Tries to find back to Lipsky. It'll go out for a corner kick. Again, we've seen Eldridge a part of the action here early on. 6 goal contributions in 3 games, just 166 minutes played. Elijah Harderson and Chase Kedzier have also picked up assists against Franklin in their career. Salinas to swing this one in. High lofting ball. Headed twice by the Grizzlies and finally knocked out of the 18. But Rose-Hulman able to recycle. Kedzier to Salinas on the far side. Cuts to his left. Back to his right. And the pass intercepted. And now the Grizzlies out and running, trying to reverse field. But given right back to Rose-Hulman. And now trying to push numbers forward. Salinas to Hannah. Nifty little touch with the back heel to Lipsky. But Lipsky's cross into no man's land. Peter Jacob crosses one in, but headed away. And now Franklin looks to reset with Teo Sasso on the near side. Sasso dancing to his left. Good defending there by Salinas to force him to play it back. And now Rose-Hulman will reset. Harderson into the middle, finds Salinas. On the far side, it's Lipsky making the run. Lipsky trying to touch it down. And he's able to come up with it on the far side. One-on-one defending here by the Grizzlies. And that's going to go out, and it's going to be a corner kick. The Franklin defender was fending off Lipsky, but it last touched off the Grizzlies. And now Salinas once again will swing one in from the far side. We've seen Rose-Hulman be dangerous out of the air all season long. On Saturday in their win over Berea, 2 goals scored on corner kicks. Cam Hannah had the first. Another high lofting ball. Hannah trying to head it down, heads it across, and the shot there by Lipsky collected by Rowe. Again, Franklin looking to go quickly, but it's 1 Grizzly against 5 Fighting Engineer defenders. And that math just doesn't add up as Flores gives the ball away. Harderson sends this one forward. Cam Hannah takes it away. To Salinas. Over to Jacob in the middle, who sends it to Lipsky on the far side. Rose-Hulman still looking for just their second shot on goal of the contest. 6 shots, but only 1 has been on target to test Rowe. Lipsky to Eldridge. And this one's going to be cleared off the line and out for a throw-in. Rose-Hulman on the season still yet to pick up a win in a Wednesday night contest. 2 losses, 1 draw. Jacob Pohl brings it down and just over the crossbar from the center back. Up there for his threat with his height on headers, but the ball finds the foot of the junior center back from Avon, Indiana, and Pohl puts it just over the crossbar. Pohl does have 1 goal on the season. His only shot on goal of the year did find the back of the net. Creek collects this long ball from Franklin, and Rose-Hulman once again will possess. Franklin was able to possess the ball early in this contest, bringing it into the middle, passing it well amongst their midfielders, but since that point it's been all Fighting Engineers. Harderson crossing to the back post. Headed away. Lipsky brings it down, but again touched out of harm's way. Lipsky on the far side. Looking with his left. He'll send it back to Peter Jacob. Chase Kedzier cutting around the defense. Lays it off to Salinas. Salinas to Eldridge, out to Harderson. Dribbles to the touchline, cross to the back post, nobody home. Franklin doing very well defending on the header opportunities for the Fighting Engineers. A very dangerous team in the air, but Franklin's defense has been top-notch early on. couple of opportunities for Rose-Hulman, but really have not tested the goalkeeper row here through 25 minutes of action. Every HCAC team is in action tonight. One men's soccer game was early today with Hanover, a 9-0 victory over Mount St. Joseph. Transylvania and Earlham was a 5:30 p.m. game. We'll look to get you that score here momentarily. That one a big contest between 3-1 Earlham and 2-1 Transylvania. That one going to be offsides called. And the final score from Lexington, a 1-0 victory for the Pioneers. So the second loss of the season for the Earlham College Quakers. That will move Transylvania and Hanover into a tie for second place at 3-1. A win for Rose-Hulman here tonight will keep them with a 3-point lead in the conference through 5 games. Again, Franklin still looking for their first win of the season. But a win there will put them right in the thick of things in terms of making the HCAC tournament, as they would be tied for 7th place with 3 points tonight. Evan Lipsky crosses one in with his left, but easy collection for Rowe. Again, the 6 other HCAC teams also in action. We will give you an update on those other 2 games as we go. Those other 2 games being Bluffton and Berea and Anderson Manchester, a big battle between the middle of the conference. Rose-Hulman again coming forward. Lipsky's cross just short of Hannah. Cam Hannah in the middle sends it back to Salinas. Salinas too hard for Kedzier, and it'll go out for a goal kick. Score updates on those other 2 HCAC matches. The Berea Mountaineers leading Bluffton 1-0. And for Anderson Manchester, it looks like they're having trouble with their live stats. That game started 33 minutes ago, but nothing showing up on the live scoring. Head coach Sean Hellawell sending down to his bench as they'll get ready to make their first changes 30 minutes into the contest. The Grizzlies and Coach Galvin also set to make a couple of changes. Borger brings it forward, dishes off to Salinas. Eldridge at the top of the 18 to Hannah, but cleared away. Salinas has it knocked off his foot. Back to Salinas, and his shot is going to go wide to the right. Not close to the target despite the diving keeper. And it looks like we're going to make 3 subs for the Fighting Engineers here, with Oliver Fila, Eli Miller, and Ryan Shapiro checking into the game to replace Kedzier, Eldridge, and Salinas. So with that, it'll be a pair of freshmen up top with Cam Hannah and Eli Miller. 3 more subs ready to check into the game for the Grizzlies here at the next opportunity.
Hey, fellas, you guys know who you're subbing for? What numbers? 7? Thank you. 10? Thank you.
Grizzlies looking to get some possession there as they pass it around the back line. But a missed touch by the outside back, and it'll be played out for a Rose-Hulman throw-in. Into the middle, trying to find Cam Hanna, slips past him. Harderson on the far side, left-footed shot right at Rowe. It'll be the second shot on goal of the contest for Rose-Hulman. Teo Sasso wanted the ball on the near side from the keeper, but not given, and instead the keeper will play it long. And now Oliver Filo wins the foul from number 6, Lucas Pereira. Pohl trying to play it forward. It's blocked away. But Filo wins it back in the midfield. But once again, the passing just not crisp enough and not on target from Rose-Hulman. Flores trying to play it to the far side. No one making the run, and Lipsky able to collect, sending it back to Biederstedt. The Grizzlies still waiting to make their subs as Harderson intercepts that pass. It's a 3-on-3, but too much on that one to the far side. Cam Hanna still able to keep it in, but now it will go out for the goal kick. Good defending there by Jackson Gent to usher that one out. And now it'll be 3 subs for the Grizzlies with Kalao Ibalo checking in for Teo Sasso. Number 13, Alexandre Marijuan Padilla, and number 11, Saul Cruz, also checking into the contest. (9-0) here in shots early on. That ball almost played perfectly by Gent, intercepted by Borger. But now Franklin looking to send some people forward. Pereira plays this one off Fila. It'll be a throw-in for the Grizzlies. There's a little bit of energy here for Franklin after making the 3 substitutions. And now sending it to the far side is Jacob to Evan Lipsky. Lipsky cutting into the middle. Finding Cam Hanna. And was looking to find Elijah Harderson. This one's going to be played out, and it's going to be a corner kick for the Fighting Engineers. That pass trying to find Harderson. There was miscommunication, but the senior showing off his speed as he's able to earn the corner kick for the Fighting Engineers. And now with Salinas taking a seat, it'll be the sophomore from New Rochelle, New York, Oliver Fila, set to put this ball into the middle. Cross coming in, header by Creek. It's going to go just wide. Rose-Hulman has had several opportunities here in the first 35 minutes of action, but just nothing on target here early on. 10 shots, but they have only tested the keeper, Ian Rowe, twice, with only one of those being a true test for the keeper. Again, a cold night here in Terre Haute. The normal heavy student crowd not out as we are amidst rush season and the colder temperatures as well as rush events keeping away our fraternity students. Pass comes into the middle. It's one there by Kala'o Ibalo. But Shapiro gets it right back for Rose-Hulman. Nifty little touches there by the freshman Hannah. And now Lipsky will reverse fields. The Grizzlies perfectly fine sitting back. They're five-man back line, almost a six-man back line when Rose-Hulman has the ball. And now Pereira wins this one from Borger. And now Fila's pass trying to find Harderson goes out. And again, it's just been the story of the game. Rose-Hulman just not crisp enough here in the first 45 minutes. The only other HCAC soccer contest we have not mentioned today is perhaps the most important one on the men's and women's, on either the men's or women's side, with Hanover taking on Mount St. Joseph in women's action. And it's Mount St. Joseph leading Hanover 1-0 and 9-3 outshooting the Panthers here early on. That would be a big result if it holds on the women's side of the conference. Hanover's won the conference regular season title 2 years in a row. NCAA tournament last season. Harderson cutting into the middle. He's going to be taken down by number 16. That's Logan Ramsey committing the foul. And now with a dangerous team in the air, it's a set-piece opportunity as Rose-Hulman will look to score the first of the contest. Rose-Hulman 4-2-1 this season when scoring first. Just one win when their opponent scores first, a 1-2-1 record. Oliver Fila set to put this one into the box. Going far post. Touched away. Cam Hanna does bring it down. Dishes it off to Lipsky. And an easy save by Rowe. That the 10th shot of the game for the Fighting Engineers, the third on target. Borger to the far side, finding Aiden Creek. Another one over the top. This one trying to find Eli Miller, the freshman. Does keep it in bounds. Miller crosses one far over everybody. But Franklin able to get on the end of it. Grizzlies are set to make another sub. It's the freshman Ignacio Aranlaj. Set to check into the game.
Hey, Franklin, you know who you're subbing for? What number? Thank you.
Harderson to Miller. Now sends it around. Peter Borger, the center back, high up the field. But he's going to give it away, and it's going to go out for a Franklin throw-in. And now they should make that sub. And there it is. It's Ignacio Aranlague, freshman from Vigo, Spain, checking into the contest. A very interesting roster for the Franklin Grizzlies. The majority of their team is either from the state of Indiana or another country in the world. Just 4 players on the team from another state in the United States, but multiple from all countries all over the world, with the majority of their roster here in Indiana. Players from Brazil, Tanzania, Mexico, Andorra, Spain, and Ecuador playing for the Grizzlies. Long throw here by Aiden Creek. Headed away by the Grizzlies. And a foul going to be called here on Eli Miller as he was trying to get on the end of that one. "42 minutes down. Ian Rowe booting this one down the pitch. Looking at a little bit of the series history between these two ball clubs, Franklin has only earned a result twice in 35 meetings against the Fighting Engineers. 1 win and 1 draw in the history of Rose-Hulman soccer. A 31-1 record for the Fighting Engineers. Rose-Hulman also comes into the contest on a 14-game winning streak against Franklin, outscoring the Grizzlies 37-3 in those 14 games. But Franklin hasn't been able to keep Rose-Hulman off the board here early on in this contest. The last 2 years' meetings, last year was a 3-0 victory for Rose-Hulman. 2 years ago, it was a 9-1 victory here for the Fighting Engineers. And that one's going to be a foul called. Looks like it's Ignacio going to be called for that one. Now 2 minutes remaining here in the first half in Terre Haute. Borger playing this one into the middle behind Miller and in front of Shapiro, meaning an easy clearance for the Grizzlies. Well, I'll be interested to see what kind of adjustments Coach Hellowell brings to the table here for the second half. You can tell the Grizzlies perfectly content sitting back, making Rose-Hulman earn anything that could come their way. As that one's going to go out for a goal kick, and we're almost to 1 minute remaining here in half number 1. One minute remaining. Rowe boots this one down the field. See if there's a little urgency from the Fighting Engineers as they try to get one on the board. Instead, Franklin looks to come back the other way, and we'll see if they push up a couple numbers here to end the half. Seven guys in the attacking half of the field. I think that's the most we've seen all game for Franklin. But Borger intercepts that pass, and we'll see if Rose-Hulman can counter. 20 seconds remaining. Long ball on the near side. It's Eli Miller. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rose-Hulman with an opportunity inside the box, but nothing doing. The Grizzlies able to clear the line, and we'll enter the half scoreless here in Terre Haute. We're going to step aside here for a moment and be back with first half stats and our second half of action here on RHIT.TV.
I think it's still coming through.
Them both to the same one. Fans, welcome back to RHIT.TV. Getting ready for our second half of action. Do a little first half stat wrap up. The Fighting Engineers out shooting Franklin 11-0 in the first half. Rose-Hulman with 5 corner kicks to the Grizzlies 0. Ian Rowe made 3 saves in goal for the Grizzlies. And the foul count, 4 Rose-Hulman, 3 Franklin. Possession, 59% Rose-Hulman, although it seemed like much more than that as the Fighting Engineers able to get every chance this game so far. But the big number on the scoreboard is a pair of zeros as we're scoreless here through 45 minutes of action. Franklin looking to pick up their first point against Rose-Hulman since 2009. The lone win for the Grizzlies in the series came back in 2003 and a draw here in 2009. We'll get you second half starters here momentarily as Coach Hellewell makes final adjustments for Rose-Hulman and Coach Galvin makes final adjustments for his Grizzlies. Another update over in Franklin. The Rose-Hulman women's soccer team doubled their lead in the final 2 minutes of the first half as Sydney Schuler found the back of the net to lead it 2-0 at the break. The Fighting Engineers out shooting Franklin 11-1 in that contest. Again, the other team in action for Rose-Hulman is the volleyball team as they are just about to get underway in St. Louis. Your starters for the Fighting Engineers. Your back line will be Jacob Pohl, Aiden Creek, and Landon Kangas. As they make final adjustments. We'll get you that lineup momentarily. Final conversations happening here for the Fighting Engineers as we get ready for the second half in Terre Haute. Again, your starting lineup here in the second half for Rose-Hulman. John Biederstedt remains in goal for the Fighting Engineers. On the back line, it will be Landon Kangas, Aiden Creek, Jacob Pohl, Nick Phillips, and Elijah Harderson. Oliver Fila, Chase Kedzier, and Peter Jacob in the middle, with Eli Miller and Ryan Shapiro remaining up top. So from the end of the first half, just 2 changes for Rose-Hulman, with Peter Jacob coming out of the game, with Peter Borger coming out of the game, as well as Evan Lipsky. Kangas wins the throw in his first action of today's contest. Landon Kangas, a freshman from Plainfield, Illinois, went to Oswego East High School. Rose-Hulman again trying to press high. That one deflects off Shapiro and back off the Grizzlies, and Rose-Hulman earns the throw. And it looks like they send their center backs forward as Aiden Creek will do a long throw here just 50 seconds into the second half. Jacob Pohl standing in the middle, the big target center back. Franklin first 2 and able to poke it away. That's number 10 for the Grizzlies, Britton Heinrich, coming out the other way. But his back pass intercepted by Miller. Miller taking it into the middle. Trying to slip this one through, had Shapiro in the middle, but it's knocked away. The high press paying off for Rose-Hulman with that interception. And now it'll be corner kick number 6 for the Fighting Engineers. Cross coming in by Fila. Falls in the middle, but poked away by Franklin. Ball fell into a dangerous area, but the Grizzlies were able to get it out of harm's way. Ian Rowe did well to come off his line and intercept that one. And Franklin now back the other way. We'll see if they look to push any more numbers forward than they did in half number one. Shapiro does well to keep this ball in bounds. Double teamed. Heinrich wins it back. An advantage played for the Grizzlies. Pereira sends it over to the left, finding Ramsey. And now Gent plays it forward. Nick Phillips, his first action of the contest, trying to usher it out of play. It'll be a goal kick. Good defending there by the freshman. Nick Phillips, a freshman from North Ridgeville, Ohio. He's made several starts this season for the Fighting Engineers. In fact, this is just his third game of the year coming off the bench here in his freshman campaign. This one played back to the keeper, Rowe. Miller almost there to take it off his foot, and it's going to go out for a Rose-Hulman throw-in. The Franklin coaching staff yelling for a throw-in, but no deflection is the call. And now Rose-Hulman will look to attack up the near side of the pitch. Creek to Kangas. Sends it back to Jacob, and they'll look to reverse field here with Fila. The New York native into the middle, dishes it out wide. Harderson, cross coming in. Comes through everybody. Kangas on the end of it, and it'll go out for a corner kick number 7. That cross came over the top of everyone. Kangas tried to play it back low into the middle, and it deflects out. Second corner in quick succession for the Fighting Engineers. Shapiro unable to bring it down. Just over the head of the freshman, and it goes off of Eli Miller and out for a goal kick. Header on, trying to get to it is number 9, Lucas Flores. But cleared out by the Rose-Hulman back line. And a lot of frustration coming over from the Franklin bench and Coach Galvin after that ball just played right out of bounds. Urging his team to push forward and try to get a couple chances here on the Fighting Engineers. Rose-Hulman looking for their 4th clean sheet in 5 matches here today. Chase Kedzier slipping this one through, touched by Fila, but it'll go out for a goal kick. Rose-Hulman has not had a goalkeeper record 3 clean sheets this season. John Biederstedt, the last keeper to do so, as he recorded 4 last year from September 27th to October 7th. Looking for their 3rd here today as they look to remain unbeaten in conference play. Shapiro wins that header, but Franklin gets to it on the second ball. And now Fila coming back this way. Has Harderson on the far side. To the far side comes Landon Kangas, cutting to the touchline. Left-footed cross. Nobody home and cleared. Creek over to Kangas to Shapiro. Nick Phillips trying to push the offense forward. Kedzier into the 18. Ball taken off his foot. And Pereira gets it out of harm's way, but Rose-Hulman repossesses. Harderson off to Kedzier. Nobody there to help Kedzier on the far side of the pitch, and it's given away back to the Grizzlies. Just no one making a run towards Kedzier to help him out as he was surrounded by Franklin defenders. You can just tell this is one of those games for Rose-Hulman that it might just take something special to find the back of the net. We've seen this before in the HCAC. On the women's side, just last Saturday, Mount St. Joseph and Earlham played to a 0-0 draw despite the Lions outshooting the Quakers 40-2. Yes, 4-0, 40-2. So Rose-Hulman looking to avoid that here today. Kangas on the near side. Gets by the defender, cuts to his left. Cross comes in, and it's going to go out for a corner kick. This will be corner number 8 for the Fighting Engineers, with Oliver Fila lining up. Punched out by Rowe. He's done very well defending off of his line here today. Kangas gets it back to Fila. Fila will look to put another one in the box instead. Plays it back to the freshman. And that one won there by the Grizzlies. Now Teo Sasso trying to play one forward. And they're going to stop the clock here as a player down for Rose-Hulman. Sasso tried to play one long over the top, and it hit Jacob Pohl right in the head. And now they'll send the trainer out to check on the junior center back after he took that ball square in the side of the head, with Sasso trying to flick one on. And now they'll run the clock here. Rose-Hulman playing down a man. And now he's waved on. Back to even strength here in the second half. Fighting Engineers come back the other way. Been very impressed by the Franklin defending here today, really just not giving Rose-Hulman many opportunities. Not to say they have not had their chances, but it's been physical defending for Rose-Hulman today. That pass intercepted by Britton Heinrich. Now we'll see if the Grizzlies can try to get some offense going as they recycle it to their back line. High press here by Eli Miller. And a ball played over the top with nobody making the run. Teo Sasso has it on the far side. Phillips defending. And it's going to go out for a Franklin throw-in. And it looks like Jackson Gent will come forward as they get ready for a potential long throw-in here. Gent with the long throw. Knocked away by Harderson. Now Rose-Hulman will look to get on the end of that one. Given away to Shapiro, headed on to Miller. Miller 1-on-4. Finds Fila in the middle, over to Kedzier. Good job by Eli Miller to hold that ball up and wait on support. Harderson tries to slip it through to Miller. But the Grizzlies get on the end of it. 57 minutes down here in Terre Haute, still scoreless. And Rowe just forced to clear this one out of harm's way. Long throw there by Creek, trying to find Eli Miller, and he does. Miller to Shapiro. Kedzier at the top of the 18. The shot goes wide. Rose set to boot this one down the pitch. Fighting Engineers just cannot seem to get a shot on target here. That goal kick intercepted by Kedzier. Harderson making the overlapping run, but Kedzier takes it into the middle. Now finds Harderson. Across the face of the goal. Shapiro just short on that run. And again, out for a goal kick. Ian Rose showing why he leads the HCAC in both saves and saves per game with 84 saves, averaging 6.46 saves per game on the year. He's at 4 here early on as he's kept the Fighting Engineers off the board. And that one given away by Pohl. Teo Sasso plays it up ahead. A dangerous turnover there by Rose-Hulman, but Jacob Pohl doing well to win it back. Kedzier to Kangas on the near side. Shapiro cutting into the middle, making defenders miss. Finds Fila. On the far side, it's Eli Miller. Goal, Rose-Hulman. The Fighting Engineers find the back of the net, and it's Eli Miller. The freshman from Indianapolis, Indiana, and Roncalli High School, putting Rose-Hulman in front with a 1-0 lead. That's Miller's third goal of the season and of his career. Second on the team in that category. That was Oliver Fila and Ryan Shapiro, both with the assists for the Fighting Engineers. Fila's third assist of the season, Shapiro's second. And that takes the pressure off Rose-Hulman here with a 1-0 lead. And now Franklin will have to start pushing forward here, trailing 1-0 for the final 30 minutes of action. That was just a great individual effort by Ryan Shapiro. He got the ball about 3 steps on Rose-Hulman's half of the field and just cut through the defense, slipped one right through to Fila, who delivered a perfect ball to the back post to find Miller to put the Fighting Engineers on top. Good touch by Kangas through the legs of number 29, Lucas Stout, but Stout still able to win the ball. Ball played back to Jackson Gent, and he'll look to find Sasso, but Sasso is clearing to the other side of the pitch. Kangas all alone on the near side if Harderson switches the field. Instead, he just cuts through the Franklin defense. Shapiro picks it up, swings it out to Kedzier. Miller inside the 6, but saved by Rowe. Great opportunity there by the Fighting Engineers, but Rowe able to come up with the save. Miller made the run behind the defender and just stuttered to cut right in front of the center back, but unable to make enough good contact to find the back of the net. Now the strategy changes for the Grizzlies and head coach Josh Galvin as he's imploring his players to push forward and try to net an equalizer. Franklin on the year 0-1-1 when entering the game, when entering the second half with a level score. Meanwhile, the Fighting Engineers, when coming out of the half in a tie ball game, 2-2-1 on the year. Also 4 wins when scoring first as they look to make it 5. Phillips up to Fila, over to Harderson. You can tell a little weight lifted off the shoulders of the Fighting Engineers as Kedzier tries to cross this one in. Kedzier back to Harderson, back to Kedzier, and they'll just swing it back around. Fila over to Peter Jacob. And that pass knocked away. Good defending by Russell. Bililovic for the Grizzlies. Bililovic, a sophomore from Bloomington, Indiana, just south of Terre Haute. Harderson over the top trying to find Shapiro. Kedzier brings it down to Kangas on the near side. Rose-Hulman has only played 1 game this year. It's been decided by more than 1 goal as they look to double their lead. Corner kick opportunity coming here for Fila. We've mentioned time and time again how dangerous this team is in the air. And that one just over the bar. It's Aiden Creek getting on the end of that one. Creek, the junior from New Orleans, Louisiana, missed almost the entire season last year as he went down with an ACL injury in just the second game of the year. But he's come back to full strength this year and leads the team in minutes as the starting center back. Heinrich does well to win this one, trying to look over the top, looking for Lucas Flores, the freshman on the far side. Now Teo Sasso, always dangerous with the ball at his feet. Fila defending, but Sasso tries to play far side, kept in play miraculously by the outside midfielder. And instead, this one is going to go out for a Rose-Hulman throw. Two more subs set to check into the game for the Grizzlies. Both came in the first half. It's Kalao Ibalo and Ignacio Aran Lage.
Hey, fellas, you know who you're subbing for? 9.
Shapiro over to Kangas on the near side. Heavy touch, but he gets through. Cuts back to his left foot and now swings it back around. Shapiro. We've talked about how reliant this Rose-Hulman team is on freshmen. 4 freshmen are playing right now for the Fighting Engineers. With Eli Miller finding Ryan Shapiro. The shot is, and it's a goal for Rose-Hulman. Eli Miller to Ryan Shapiro, and it's a 2-goal lead for the Fighting Engineers. It was the freshman connection with goal number 1 as Shapiro assisted to Miller, and right back for goal number 2, Miller gives it right back to the freshman. And we'll see how hard Rose-Hulman pushes forward here. The subs do come on for the Grizzlies as it's number 9, Lucas Flores, and number 5, Russell Bililovic, both checking out of the contest. 17-0 in shots here in today's game, and a 2-0 scoreline for the Fighting Engineers. Gent trying to play it through to the Grizzlies, but out of bounds. Now Nick Phillips will take the throw in. Not a single foul called here in the second half. It was 4-3 in fouls in half number 1. No whistles from the referee as they're letting them play. And Rose-Hulman has been able to take advantage of that. The Grizzlies have only allowed fewer than 3 goals 5 times this season in their 13 games. As Rose-Hulman continues pushing forward, trying to find a third. That last goal for Ryan Shapiro is his third, tying Eli Miller for second on the team. The assist for Miller is the first of his young career. Another update over in Franklin, Indiana. It's a penalty kick goal for the Fighting Engineers as Kiana Martin, the senior captain, finds the back of the net to make it 3-0 Rose-Hulman over in Franklin in that women's contest. Kangas into the middle. Nobody home at the top of the 18. Kalao Ibalo looking to hold that one up, but Rose-Hulman able to win it back. Ibalo, along with Teo Sasso, has been the 2 catalysts of this Franklin offense, the 2 players with more than 1 goal on the year. Ball played back to Phillips. Looking to cross one in. It's a shot, and it's going to go just over the bar. Ambitious effort there for the freshman, Nick Phillips from North Ridgeville, Ohio. And now the sub into the game for the Grizzlies will be number 13, Alexandra Marijuan Padilla, as he checks in for Teo Sasso. And just like that, Just 37 seconds after the Fighting Engineers made it 3-0, it's now 4-0 in the women's game as Sydney Schuler, the freshman phenom, scores her second goal. And it's 4-0 in the 71st minute over in Franklin. Meanwhile here, the shot by Harderson saved by Ian Rowe. That ball was going bottom corner, but Rowe able to come up with the save. This 4-goal output by the Fighting Engineers women's team, their most goals of the season so far. Meanwhile, Oliver Filo rips this one in. Ian Rowe off his line, able to collect. Rowe has come out quick every time he's caught the ball and has looked to outlet it, but not a single time has he let it go, much to the dismay of his midfielders and attacking players. This one trying to be played forward by Heinrich, and Jacob Pohl will just knock it deep out of play on the far side. Sends the ball girl chasing just shy of the creek. Pass on to the far side. It's Chase Kedzier. Runners into the box as Kedzier to his right foot. Keeps a hold of it, and it's going to go out for a corner kick. Kedzier went 1-on-3 there, trying to put the ball into the 18. And he earns another corner for Rose-Hulman. It'll be corner number 11 for the Fighting Engineers. That ball headed by Jacob Pohl. It will go out wide, and Franklin will look to push forward. It goes out for a Rose-Hulman throw-in. Fancy footwork there by Alexandra Marijuan Padilla, but good defending by Shapiro forced him out of play. Not opting for the long throw-in here as the center backs stay deep already with a 2-goal advantage. Kangas finds Kedzier. Cleared out of harm's way by the Grizzlies, but Rose-Hulman will recycle on their back line. Good center back minutes being put in here by Nick Phillips, normally a defensive mid playing in the 6th position, but he's put in valuable minutes here at center back here in the second half of today's contest. Due to injury, Peter Borger does not play in the second half of contests, or has not for the past several games. He plays all 45 minutes in half number 1, and then that is it for him. So Rose-Hulman desperately in the need of someone to fill that right center back position in the second half of games. Cross by Harderson into Shapiro looking for the brace, but Rowe able to come up with the save. Rowe now over his save total average of 6.5 with save number 7 for the 5th-year senior from Greenwood, Indiana, a Center Grove High School alum. Rowe still a ways to go from his season high as he made 13 saves in his lone clean sheet of the year against Transylvania. Aiden Creek attacking, no one stepping to the ball. Now they do. The center back carrying forward and now given away, and now Rose-Hulman will look to get back defending. Franklin unable to push the ball forward. Is now just played out of harm's way by Rowe. Back the other way come the Grizzlies. It's Alexandra Marijuan Padilla. Back to Flores. Padilla, good defending there by Kangas. And Shapiro attacks down the near side. Already has a goal and an assist to his name. Finds Miller, the other goal scorer. Shot from Miller is going to go over the bar and out for a goal kick. Coming forward, but that pass intercepted. That was number 5, Bililovic, trying to put one into the 18, but intercepted. Rose-Hulman has held 3 opponents to just 1 shot over the last 3 years. But to go back, you have to go back much longer than that to see the last time the Fighting Engineers have not allowed their opponent to take a single shot in the game. Shot saved off the bar. Kedzier got his foot to it, but Rowe able to push it just off target, and it hit the corner of the crossbar and goalpost. What a save there by Ian Rowe to keep the Fighting Engineers from adding a third. Kangas trying to put it down the sideline, blocked away. It'll go out for a Rose-Hulman throw. And that one deflected off Rose-Hulman. It'll be a Franklin throw-in. Pohl put his right boot into that one, and it's on target. It'll be another save for Ian Rowe. That one a very ambitious effort from the junior. Another pass given away Shapiro into the middle. He'll look to reverse field, but did not catch all of that pass as it's intercepted. But again, given right back by the Grizzlies. Fila to the outside with Harderson. Plays it back to Phillips. 10 minutes to go here in Terre Haute. Another one played over the top. This one to Marijuan Padilla. Padilla into the middle. Finding Ignacio Aranlage. The Grizzlies looking for their first shot of the game. That one blocked away by Jacob. Pereira brings it down. Jacob defending. If Rose-Hulman can keep this win, they will stay 3 points atop of the HCAC, 13 points to their name based on the current results. Hanover and Transylvania both sitting on 10 points. Eli Miller carrying it forward now for Rose-Hulman. It's Shapiro on the near side. Both players with a goal and assist to their name. Shapiro's just going to play it back. Kangas. And now they'll recycle to the back, but a heavy touch there by Creek gives it away to Padilla. Padilla to Pereira, back to Padilla on the near side. Cuts into the middle, Creek defending, and a dive there by Padilla not called. Still no fouls called in the second half of today's game. And now this one going to be headed back to John Biederstedt, and Biederstedt will get his first touch in quite a while in today's game. 7.5 minutes remaining. The first stats of Rose-Hulman soccer began being tracked in 1999. Since then, the Fighting Engineers have only held their opponent shotless twice. Once coming in that 1999 season, a 10-0 victory over William Penn. Once coming in the spring 2021 season that was played in March due to COVID, with the Fighting Engineers holding Earlham scoreless in a 9-0 victory over the Quakers. 6.5 minutes away from just the third time in history holding their opponent without a shot. And meanwhile, let's update you one more time from the women's soccer game as senior forward Sarah Shibuya finds the back of the net in the 78th minute off an assist from Megan Hall. That assist by Hall is the first of her career as a Fighting Engineer. So a 5-0 scoreline over in Franklin. The Grizzlies now getting most of the possession as Heinrich tries to slip one through, but Biederstedt out easy to collect. Saul Cruz, the senior midfielder from Perry Meridian High School, set to check in here for the final 5 minutes of action at the next opportunity. Looking ahead at what's next for both of these ball clubs. Both teams return to action on Saturday with more HCAC action. The Franklin Grizzlies will hit the road for their second road game in 3 of a 3-game road stand. That one a foul called on Landon Kangas. And now it'll be a set piece for Mount St. Joseph. Set piece for Franklin. The Grizzlies visit Mount St. Joseph on Saturday. It'll be an 8:30 p.m. kick. Late night Saturday football due to an American football game at 2 p.m. in Cincinnati. Into the 18, Rose-Hulman brings it down. It's Kedzier looking to outlet to Shapiro and does. Shapiro giving chase, but the ball played harmlessly back to the keeper, Rowe.
Hey, fellas, you know who you're subbing for? Numbers? 31, 16, 9. Thank you. Guys, you know who you're subbing for? 8. Thank you.
Meanwhile, for Rose-Hulman, the Fighting Engineers return here to their home turf on Saturday as they host the 3-2 Earlham Quakers and what's turned into a key HCAC matchup late in the season. That will be a men's-women's doubleheader with the women playing at 1 p.m. Stop clock. And the men playing at 3:30 p.m. We'll get all 5 subs here for both teams, 2 for the Grizzlies, 3 for the Fighting Engineers. For the Grizzlies, it's Saul Cruz and Adrian Carrasco getting his first appearance of the contest. For the Fighting Engineers, 3 players also making their first appearance. Carson Manis, the freshman from Longmont, Colorado. Jimmy Hall, the senior from Iowa. And Gabe Crewer, the senior from New Albany, Indiana. Meanwhile, the corner kick played in to the 18. And this one's going to go out harmlessly for a goal kick. Biederstedt set to put this ball back into play with 3 minutes remaining. Ball played over the top. And it's a missed touch there by Saul Cruz. He was inside the 18-yard box. The Rose-Hulman players yelling for offsides, but nothing given. You have to take the inactive players off. This is only the active players. That's why he gives us this. You got to take all the players that aren't active out. 2.5 minutes remaining. Franklin showing some life here. A little bit of energy from a couple of the bench players as they look to push forward here in the final 2 minutes of the contest. Jimmy Hall has Carson Manis on the near side. Catches up to it. Manis plays it back to Hall. The shot from the senior blocked away. Another shot by Fila blocked away. Fighting Engineers keep possession. Hall over to Manis, back to Fila. A third shot blocked by the Grizzlies. And now Franklin bringing it down. Marijuan Padilla tries to play it forward, but Creek intercepts and wins the throw-in for the Fighting Engineers. 1 minute remaining. 1 minute on the clock. It's a 2-0 lead for the Fighting Engineers. Heinrich carries to the near side, and he's just going to dribble it out of play. And that'll almost do it here from Terre Haute. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That'll do it here from Rose-Hulman. The Fighting Engineers remain unbeaten in HCAC play with a 2-0 victory over the Franklin Grizzlies, extending their win streak to 15 in the series. Again, the Fighting Engineers return to action on Saturday afternoon as they host the Earlham Quakers at 3:30 p.m. Fans, we thank you for joining us here on RHIT.TV. I'm Landon Bundy, wishing you a good night.